Uh-oh.
The Trump dance.
All right. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the show. I got Greg over there doing his little dance. Got Devin down there.
What's up?
Got Scott over there. And I'm Chris. Welcome back to the show, of course. Do us a favor. Smash that like button. Share the videos. Like them. Comment. Square. All that good stuff.
All of that stuff.
All that stuff. All that great stuff. So we're going to jump into the first story right here. We got let me go to the so I can actually see it. When taking 22 pounds of cannabis from its Las Cruz site to one of its Albuquerque stores, the company said U.S. Customs and Border Patrol detained Spore for nearly 3 hours and seized all their products. We've been going through that checkpoint for over a year, no questions asked. So obviously, we're doing everything compliantly. It's a manifested product, said Matt Chadwick, CEO of the Top Corp cannabis company. So I was shocked, a little blown away, and taken aback. So what they're talking about is for some reason in New Mexico, and this has happened across the nation since states have been starting to legalize marijuana, but it's still illegal on the federal level, is that federal agencies get together and they just take the products from state legal businesses. Right. And it makes no sense to me anyway, that they could even do that. I mean, why aren't these states even backing their businesses?
Well, I think the federal government's acting tyrannical. I know that's a surprise. I say it every day, but
the hell you say?
How many states have made it legal, either recreationally or medicinally? And yet the federal government, we're a republic, which means many states make one country, and we send representatives to the White House or to the Congress and the Senate, to come up with unifying laws that every state wants to abide by. Each representative decides yes, no, vote, this, that. So the majority of states now say, hey, it's medically okay, or it's recreationally okay. But the federal government, no, we don't care what you want. We're the federal government. We outrule you. That's not the way the system is designed to be. So,
right. In 24 states, 24 of them have legal marijuana.
Yep.
Right. And Chris
that's
said,
recreational. That's recreational.
How many?
Yeah, that's recreational. That's not just that's just recreational. So why is the federal government still doing this? In my opinion, it's a money grab. You know what I mean? They sit there and they let a dispensary set up shop. The DEA sits there and watches them for God knows how long, watches how successful they are, and then they can just step in at any second and take everything from them.
Check your mic.
Seize everything.
Check your mic, bud.
Why? What's wrong with it?
You sound like you're going through through your camera.
But it's wrong if you ask me that they're doing that. I don't even see how they're getting away with it.
It's Gestapo crap is what it is. And the fact that the states aren't stepping up, these states went and said, hey, we allow it. It's legal here.
Hello.
And for them, there you go. You sound better.
There you go.
For them to come in and do this, and the state not even try to protect these businesses is appalling to me. I would be so angry at my state for just letting the federal government come in and go, no, we are the supreme beings here and just take everything I had.
Yeah.
I was
And
expecting
that-
the National Guard out there like, no, you're not taking nothing.
Right. And like Ohio, we just made it legal in November.
Right.
For recreational marijuana in the state of Ohio. We've already had medical for a little bit. I don't remember how long. But does that not terrify people who are thinking about even opening those businesses to the recreational side?
That's what they want to do.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. What are they going to do though when federal agencies just walk in and just start seizing your assets, start seizing everything that you worked your, I mean those licenses to open up a recreational marijuana spot they're not cheap.
Well, and I think if your state representatives are not going to protect you, these things were voted in these states, in this case, Ohio. The residents should be out there standing between that business and the federal government and saying, no, you will not do this.
This
period.
It's just more of the government telling the people, screw you. I mean,
exactly.
The Constitution gives state governments the power to establish local governments, issue license for marriage, driving, hunting, etc. Regulate commerce. That's a big one. Regulate commerce within the state.
Right.
Conduct elections, ratify amendments, support the public health and of the citizens, set laws for legal drinking and smoking ages.
Right.
And create state constitutions with a list of a lot more.
Right.
But if a state deems it is okay to have recreational, whatever it is, I don't care if it's heroin or whatever. I don't agree with that, but so much. But if the state deems it's okay, then and it's not affecting the states around it, why not? Why is the federal government stepping in when Oregon legalized all drugs? Where was the federal government stepping in?
They decriminalized.
Well, pretty much.
They're
decriminalized
walking that back.
Legalization did.
Yeah, they're walking that back
now.
Where was the federal government seizing all the drugs?
They are.
They're walking it back because it was a crap show. I mean, Oregon decriminalized all drugs. That was a mistake. Marijuana, man, shouldn't even be on there in the first place. Marijuana
should be legal across the board.
It should be. You would think it would be, but it's. I think it has a lot to do with like big pharma and stuff like that. That just does not want that to be on. For you to be able to grow it in your house, because we've talked about this a whole bunch. Greg said several times before, you could just grow the medicine you need in your house. You know what I mean? And it's like it is an herb. It can be used for certain things. I mean, I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor, but I don't see why it should be illegal. It shouldn't be there in the first place.
It definitely has medicinal purpose,
and it's on the same level as heroin.
Just a couple of things to throw in here. You did ask a few questions. There's 38 states that are medicinally legal.
Right.
We okayed medicinal in 2016, June 8th.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah.
It's been a little while then. We've had it medicinal.
It's been a little while.
So let me get this straight. So if you're a medicinal state or a heavily blue state like California, Oregon, Washington, as long as the government can get their hands in it, the federal government, then it's okay. Because the federal government, if it's medicinal, they're like, well, yeah, we're going to tax it, we're going to regulate it, we're going to make
take your gun rights from you. Some states did that.
Pharma is going to get their hands in it. You know what I mean? So it's a money. It's all about the money. Follow the corruption.
What you just said there, though, big pharma. They tried. They tried to make what was the THC pill? I can't remember what it was called, but it wrecked your whole, like your liver. It would destroy your liver and everything. So they couldn't get in it. So they was just like, no, keep it illegal, Yep. And then what you said about the medical marijuana, the messed up part about that is some states said you can't have a gun if you have a medical marijuana license.
Right.
Well, and that was messed up when they did that, because so I can go out and drink, I can go get a prescription for Percocet, I can get a prescription for OxyContin, Vicodin. I mean, you name it, and it doesn't do it. But they're like, if you want your weed, you have to give up this right, and that's messed up too.
If y'all remember, way back in the day, there was this thing that they came out with called was it K2 Spice?
Yes, I remember that, and that shit was whack.
It was absolutely whack. But the point I think that was made was that they were testing to see whether or not that they could use
the industry was there
with synthetic weed, basically.
Yeah.
See if they could use that in order to get whatever amount of revenue that they could get from that without see if people would get rid of the real stuff. And that didn't work.
Right.
It wasn't.
It didn't work.
Well, I just had another thought though, Chris. You brought up if we ever get the federal government to take it off the schedule, legalize it, that may be one of the things they do is say, well, we'll give it to you, but you got to give us your guns. And I will oppose that every time. I'm sorry. I want everybody to have weed, but they are not ever taking my guns from me.
Well, didn't Ohio try that? Let me see.
I want to share this with you guys real quick. I just think this is really good. Now, this is from the National Health Institute. All right. The NIH, the NIH, the NCBI, NLM. All right. Now, I want you to look at this. I'll even make it a little bigger for y'all. All right. Now I got to share this. Hold on. Let me see if I can share this one here. Open it up in a new page. So hold on a second. So let me see if I can get this one up. If not, then I'll just have to use the other one. Oh, there it is. Okay. I'm going to read these off to you. The first one, as you can see at the bottom, red is strongly disagree, agree, and strongly agree. Able to decrease opiate dose. All right. As you can see, 23% strongly or agree and 74% strongly agree that THC marijuana is better. Experience side effects from opiates, 28% strong agreed, and 60% strongly agreed. Cannabis side effects more tolerable than opiates, 22% agreed, 70% strongly agreed that it was better. Cannabis more effective than opiates for pain, 39% agree, 41% strongly agree. Cannabis just as effective as opiates for pain, 44% agree, 27% strongly agree. Prefer cannabis to opiates, 24% agree, 69% strongly agree. Would use more as a substitute if available, 21% agree, 72% agree. That is a survey comparing opiates, which is highly addictive, and once they stop giving to you, they'll find you with a needle of heroin in your arm,
or you will be very sick for a while,
to marijuana.
Well, you can also die from withdrawals from heroin.
Oh yeah,
Scott.
You can.
Like from marijuana.
It's not a big number, but yes, it's a possibility.
That is
it depends on how much you use.
Yeah, that is I mean, what it does to your body wrecks your body. I know someone who's been on opiates.
Go ahead. I wasn't trying to throw you off. Go ahead.
Her whole body is destroyed. Liver, kidney, her liver's tons.
Right.
I mean, but that is
you're right.
That study is from the federal government, so they know this information. But who is lobbying them? Who's in the back pocket? The federal government. Okay, this is the CDC basically right here. The federal government knows this to be true, that it works just as good, if not better. It's not addictive. It's actually an anti-inflammatory. Right. It has medicinal value, but they would rather stick you on a script of opiates and get you addicted and kill you off than help your actual problems. Because Big Pharma pays for their campaigns.
Right.
And I don't think they're trying to kill you off. They're trying to bring you back. The money's not in the treat or in the cure. The money's in the
in the treatment.
It's always in the comeback. Right.
Let me bring this up.
It's in the comeback.
You see that right there? While Ohio has made non-smoking forms of medical marijuana legal, this was when we just had the gummies and stuff like that for medical use. Federal law nonetheless classifies marijuana as a Schedule I controlled substance. Thus, under federal law, Ohio residents who obtain a medical marijuana patient ID card to lawfully use marijuana cannot legally possess guns.
See, that's
so again, it goes right back to the state and the federal laws conflicting the conflict.
right. Well,
it makes no.
That's where the people are going to have to stand up because, look, like I said, I want marijuana legal. It's a way better solution than the opioids, but I absolutely, under no circumstances, will ever give up my guns for no matter what it's for. You know what I mean? So
you shouldn't have to.
You shouldn't have to, and that's what I was going to say.
Give up the federal government.
I agree with you 100%.
Let's just go back to states. I think that's the best.
I mean, like Greg said, though, that's the way it's supposed to be. The federal government isn't supposed to be all up in our stuff all the time.
Right.
We that's why we have states. Our states are supposed to control how the states are run. The federal government isn't supposed to be all up in our stuff, controlling everything that we do on the daily basis. That's not what they're supposed to be. That's why we have state constitutions. That's why we have state laws. They're not supposed to be doing this, but it's a power trip.
Honestly, like if I really think about it, it's kind of, if you really think about a federal election, like even right now, let's talk like all the stuff that's going on. They're talking about their issues. Hey, let's get this, let's get that. Why do people all of a sudden want to make policy that forces everyone to follow them? Why can't they just make it in their own state? Why can't they just leave other states alone and let people decide on their own?
Because they want the reason.
Why do people really want to just force you to live the way they want you to live? It doesn't make any sense to me.
It's
that's
control.
That's the
and
thing is
unfortunately
they do this. So there's a statistic out there. I think it's 3 felonies a day. That's what the normal American citizen
commits.
Commits at least 3 felonies a day unknowingly. Because there's so many laws. Either you're breaking a federal law or a state law. Who knows? Because there's so many of them on there. But they do that for a reason. That way, when you say something they don't want you to say, or if you're acting a certain way and they don't like it, well, all they got to do is dig a little bit and they can find something on you. Anybody, the best person, your grandma could be breaking the law. Her say something that they don't like or join a protest that they don't like, and they could have her arrested because I know she did something. Jaywalking. Nobody gets arrested for that anymore. I mean, in some states, it's still illegal to get
careful. Hey, look, there are technically in some towns and states stupid laws that are still on the books. They're not they're not
enforced.
Thank you. That's the word I'm looking for. Enforced anymore. But stupid things like you can't hang your laundry on a certain day outside. You can't walk backwards on the sidewalk. You can't get the fish drunk. Which I don't know why they ever had to make a law about that, but apparently they did at some point,
Can somebody read to me that highlighted area?
An estimated 69,000 people die from opioid overdoses each year.
Yes.
And who started the epidemic, the opioid epidemic? Does anybody know?
Wasn't it? Or something like that?
It was Obama's policy.
Oh, yeah.
I believe back in the 60s and maybe the early 70s, LSD, the hallucinogens were technically legal, but there was a big push against the government or from the government to outlaw them, and they did finally. But everybody was high in the 60s and 70s on mushrooms and LSD and all kinds of stuff.
Now they're trying to bring that back. Yes, it actually has
anxiety, PTSD. So let's ask ourselves, everything that's natural, okay? You can grow mushrooms in an aquarium in your house. Magic mushrooms. You can grow this stuff in your house. All this stuff cures all this stuff that the big pharma produces pills for. That then you have to get other pills to protect your liver. Or I'm depressed. I need antidepressants. Well, now I'm shaking because I got tardive dyskinesia.
Anxiety and all that.
To take another pill.
Restless leg syndrome.
All this. Hold on. All of this stuff that you have to take medication for, there is home successful natural remedies they don't want you to know about because there's no profit.
Okay.
That's true.
there are studies that say that is effective right now that are being done by the FDA that say that psychedelics are effective.
Don't trust
at
the
treating.
FDA.
Well, no. But you can't say things like it is. No.
Look,
There are studies that say
There
they
are
are.
studies. I've
okay,
seen
that's fine. I'm
stuff.
not a doctor. Don't go start tripping or doing anything like that.
Right, we're not
All right, let me
doctors.
put a
We're not
disclaimer there.
doctors. Yeah,
But there's
there are
plenty of studies. But in the
studies and
I know in
documentaries.
1960s, 90% of the population went going to their doctor saying they needed antidepressants.
No, they weren't. I mean, you didn't hear about all this stuff.
But
That's why I say
think Devin hit
that's-
the nail on the head. We got to get rid of the big government, because the government's
Yeah.
paid off by big pharma. I mean, I hate to say it, but in one way or another, they're
Criminalized
lobbying
lobbying.
us.
right, exactly,
Criminalized
lobbying and
lobbying.
whatever. And it's, you know, hey, you scratch my back, I scratch yours, and we need to reduce that down to a manageable level. Is what
No,
we
what
need
needs
to
to
do.
happen, get rid of lobbying, get rid of big corporations, greasing
Yes,
the palms
you're
of
right.
politicians and swaying them to do something, and let the politicians listen to the people and let us
Right.
sway what they do.
Chris, you're not getting a email from YouTube saying we're being
Yeah, we're
taken
done. They
off
just
for
kicked
the
us.
things we've said.
No, they just kicked us off. I'm
They
just
did
messing
not.
with you.
Oh my gosh!
No,
I was
okay.
gonna say they did
Two,
not.
two people
I
are going
got-
to be devastated.
Yeah,
I'm
two
gonna
people are
I'm
gonna
gonna
be
bring
really
this up
hurt
because
over
I got a text message from our
You
good
guys-
from Stewie, our good friends and our favorite fan.
Let's see.
It's from Unusual Whales on Instagram or X. Or I don't know why I said Instagram. On X. Breaking: Iran has told the White House that if the U.S. defends Israel against its forthcoming retaliation for the Damascus strike, it will consider the U.S. a viable target as well, per the Intercept.
World War
For the
III. Here we
Intercept, so it's on
come.
the Intercept. I don't know what that. Do you guys know what that is?
Basically, it means we're getting ready to go to World War III because we're gonna piss off the
No, I
wrong
think that was a
people.
news organization. I don't
It's
know.
a news thing. Hold on a second.
Yeah, that's why I was trying to. But sorry, I didn't mean to break us away from what we were talking about. I just figured like that.
But here,
if
I'll
that's
put out the
breaking news that
disclaimer.
needs to
Look,
be
we're not
brought
medical
up.
doctors. Please
Okay,
consult
Biden
your local doctor about anything medical. Don't listen to us about
we go.
the marijuana.
We
Yeah,
have
no,
lots of
hashtag.
opinions, and we like to
We are
spout them.
opinion. Our opinion.
Right.
So please consult your local medical doctors about these things.
Yes.
Yeah, but if you just want to smoke some weed, you should be allowed to smoke some weed.
I agree. I agree with that 100%. I don't think you're
Right.
hurting anybody doing that.
No,
Whether it does anything medically good for you or not, I can't.
You're still
officially-
not hurting anybody, right? I agree, but I don't think you're hurting anybody. So
you see anything in that Biden administration? Go back down, Greg.
White House
Or Devin.
order on my bed.
Yes. No.
Okay.
So,
So apparently, Iran is telling us to stay away from Israel. I guess I don't know. That's
they're saying that if we respond,
Yeah, basically, like I said, World War III. If we don't back off, then we're going to get drug into a war. And what do we
Right.
do best? I mean,
go ahead and take.
what do
that
we
now.
like as Americans? I mean, not we like personally, but as Americans, what do we do best?
blow
Yeah.
stuff up.
We
blow
F
stuff
things
up.
up is what we do best. I mean,
I think it's mainly explosives. We really like explosives. We're good.
we
at
do
it.
like explosives.
We
so
like things that go boom.
boom,
and
right?
we really like if
With a
anybody
really
ever
big-
says anything called oil.
Yeah.
We
I-
definitely want
with
all
a big
that.
price tag too.
Did
we
you say
love
oil?
expensive booms.
I
Right.
just found something, if you guys don't mind.
And come up to your mic.
Oh, I just found something, if you
There
guys
you go.
don't mind. I've been telling it to you for a long time. And it
Mhm.
fits in with, oh my God, we have 4 viewers. This is the most we've ever had. Welcome. Thank you for watching. This
That's
fits
right. Thank you for
society
watching.
right now. I've told you this story 100 times. I just want to get your opinions. I'll read it to you guys. It's not too long, but I've mentioned this experiment a million times over the phone on our conversations. The Universe 25 experiment is one of the most terrifying experiments in the history of science, which which through the behavior of a colony of mice is an attempt by science to explain human societies. The experiment involved creating a utopian environment for a population of rats. The enclosure provided an abundance of food, water, nesting materials, as well as ample space for rats to roam and socialize. Initially, the rat population thrived and their numbers increased rapidly. However, as the rat population grew, societal problems began to emerge. Rats became increasingly aggressive, territorial, and antisocial. Females showed more and more aggressive behavior, isolation elements, and a lack of reproductive mood. There was low birth rate and, at the same time, an increase in the mortality in younger rodents. Then a new class of male rodents appeared, the so-called beautiful mice. They refused to mate with the females or to fight for their space. All they cared about was food and sleep. At one point, beautiful males and isolated females made up the majority of the population. As time went on, juvenile mortality reached 100% and reproduction reached 0. Among the endangered mice, homosexuality was observed, and at the same time, cannibalism increased, despite the fact that there was plenty of food. John Calhoun repeated the same experiment 24 more times, and each time the result was the same. Man buns, skinny jeans,
I'm sorry.
men that won't fight for their space, have no interest in women, women that have no interest in men. The rise of homosexuality, transgenderism.
Are you explaining our society right now?
Does it seem like the same?
It
The hell he
seems the
says.
same as we're the rats. Like, it's
Wait, did you just call me a rat? I'm offended. Hold on.
listen
You're
here,
too
Scott.
ugly to be a rat. No, I'm just joking.
Oh, man. There's the death blow right there. That's
You're
it.
you're a pangolin.
Look, you get 3 more offenses, and then I'm out of here. Okay, that's it.
I think it's a bit presumptuous to say that it's at that point yet. I don't think we're technically in a full-on, utopia yet. I think that it's far too soon for that.
There
is no such thing.
I think we're seeing the start of what he's saying. We're not there yet, but we're seeing the start.
We're marching right to it, and it's not everywhere in the world. In America, it's prevalent. In the Western societies, it's really prevalent.
But is it really prevalent, or is it just fabricated?
I see it with my own eyes.
It is prevalent, but I think it's a little overexposed as well. Sensational.
I can't. I don't know how to say. Okay. You guys, you and Devin, you guys live in Xenia, and I explained in this earlier to you guys. Like, I live in Springfield, Ohio, and before you see the stuff on the news, and I always said, man, it's not real. I mean, it's real, but it's not
Right.
It's not everywhere like everybody's saying. For the last year and a half, dude, it's just been popping up everywhere. And it's like, I mean, Springfield's a smaller city, you know what I mean? Like, Columbus and Dayton are a lot bigger than us. We're in the middle of that.
Right.
But we're starting to see a lot more. We're starting to see a lot more of that. I mean, we got in the middle of the night, they just started busing all the immigrants into Springfield. I mean, we were being overrun. You can't go to our Walmarts, any grocery store, not just Walmart, and find anything on the weekends, really. I mean, everything's ransacked. I mean, there's stuff there, don't get me wrong, but it's like,
is it kind of
you go
like
there looking for, you go there looking for something, and it's the one thing you want that has just been gone. Like, produce is one of the big things. If you need a pepper or anything, get that Monday through Friday, because Saturday and Sunday it's going to be hard to find. But it is spreading. I would say like a wildfire, man. I mean, all that stuff has been spreading like crazy.
I think this is still, again, though, it's fabricated. We know that when human beings find something that is popular, they
trending
hook onto it. It's trending. They hook onto it. And they do it all the time because they want to be popular, because they can't get anything else in their life.
I seem to have struck a nerve, but
what are you trying to say?
No, Jesus Christ, what I'm saying
is that a dress? No,
I can't deny what I see. That it is.
I don't know. My favorite color is
on
blue.
the rise. It's on the rise. From I grew up in a different time from what it is now, and a lot of men, and even and many generations don't behave the same as they used to. They really, truly don't. In social settings, no one talks to each other. They're all over there off on their own by themselves. There's no social construct. Everybody doesn't intermingle. Most people stay in their homes. When I was a kid, I knew all my neighbors. I knew everybody and the
go ahead, Scott.
Really quick, they claim that like each generation now, current generation has less testosterone than their fathers before, and so on.
This is true.
And
that's
Greg,
true.
you've said it before that strife makes strong people, and unfortunately, we made our society too easy.
There's that, and I agree with a lot with what Greg was saying, because I remember when I first started in the trucking industry, I used to look around like, oh man, these young people, they just don't know how to drive. You know what I mean? Like, but then you start looking around and you notice it's not just the young people, it's everybody now.
Yeah.
It's people of all ages, and it's not just the driving, you know, when you look around and it's affecting people. You wouldn't think these trends that you know, how we were saying it is, you would think it would just be affecting the younger generations. No, it's affecting the whole of society is being affected by this.
Look at America. Look at America. We have no real adversities in this country. You don't struggle for food. You don't struggle for electricity. You don't really struggle anything. Look at the society in a third world country or a second world country or the Middle East. The men are still men. In Russia, the men are still men. You know what I mean? They fight, they drink, you know what I mean? They're men. The women are women. You know what I mean?
You know the saying, right?
What?
Strong men make good times make soft men make hard times.
Yeah,
that's true.
That's
very true.
Once you get to utopia, the lack of problems.
Right.
What do you need to be a man for? Right. You know, I've read studies where they say that the man's Y chromosome is disappearing. It's going to be replaced with what?
Oh, there's that, and then there's all these women running around with the feminist movement and all that. Like, we've been seeing it grow bigger and bigger every year. They're running around saying a lot of crazy stuff. I don't need a man. I don't need a man until the lights go out.
Isolationists.
Right. Well, I'm saying
to reproduce,
but till the lights go out. When the lights go out, who are they going to hide behind?
Well, yeah, they're clinging onto the nearest man.
They're going to look for they're going to look for protection, and the protection they're going to be seeking is behind a man.
But, I mean, I see it.
But you say that, and they get mad at you. You know what I mean?
I scroll through videos. When I was a kid, it was rare to see a female fight. Females didn't fight. They called each other bad names. They yelled at each other. Now, just about every video you see is a pack of females fighting. They isolate, they stop breeding, and they become aggressive in that study. And that's what's happening in our society.
Yeah, we need to fix it. And I say the way to fix it.
To this.
The way to fix it is just let us smoke weed.
For a second, I never would have guessed you were going that way, but kudos.
All
I
right.
like it.
All right. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. We went a little over as usual. We always do. One day we're gonna move it up, and Scott doesn't want us to do it.
You be quiet. All
right. Again, smash that like button, share the videos, comment, all that good stuff. We appreciate you guys being here. We actually had 4 people for a second. Now we only have 1.
Probably Stuart. Thanks, Stuart. Hi, Stuart.
Stuart logged in under 4 accounts. Thanks, Stuart. I just took it. Whoever's watching, we do appreciate it.
We'll see you guys tomorrow, 7 p.m. to 8, because tomorrow is Friday. Yep.
Peace out.
Y'all have a good night,
America.
Good night.
And
later, y'all.
Do the outro.
Yep.